this sheet today so that I hope that you have printed something possibly along the lines. This is what I use. You do not have to use this. I showed you some other forms that you can print. Print one of the forms in the back office and make it work for you. The biggest thing that I would love for you to be held accountable for is that you're responsible for your sponsored Compassion Entrepreneurs. If your Compassion Entrepreneurs start sponsoring, then they're going to be invited to this group page and they're responsible for them, right? And so let's build a nice little unique system that everybody knows what to do and how to be a better leader and how to be a better sponsor, right? So on there it says a welcome email. So your new Compassion Entrepreneurs will get a welcome email from the company. I typically put the name of my Compassion Entrepreneurs up at the top. I then put the date that they joined at the top so that I kind of can keep track, right? The welcome email that comes is from the company. The company sends an amazing email, welcome email. So when I pick up the phone to talk to my new Compassion Entrepreneur, all I have to do is, hey Mary, I know you probably got that email. I hope that it was useful. I hope that you're able to log into the back office and use all of that information. When she says, hey, no, I didn't get it, then I know, hey, don't check that box. She didn't get her welcome email. So make sure you kind of touch base with your new Compassion Entrepreneur on that, and that's your check, right? Add to mailing list. I don't do an address mailing list. You may. I particularly kind of don't. I don't write their email, their address there. I just have it in our back office, so I don't really add it to anything. Add to planner. I definitely add them to my planner. These girls that just joined, they're mine for 100 days, baby. So adding to planner, I add them to my Monday every single week for the next 100 days. My goal is to help lead them for 100 days and then kind of let them go. That doesn't mean I never talk to them again, but that means by then I know we've built a relationship I know how often they want me to contact them. I know what they want me to do for them, and I know where they may need to call me. I start to learn their love language. Do they text? Do they Facebook message? And as a side note, I Facebook message everybody and almost anybody. That keeps a record for me. It keeps data for me. I forget sometimes what I tell my own kids, guys, and I have 3 kids, right? So, I mean, you have to be forgiving to that, right? Sometimes I just forget, so it's easier if I keep it on a Facebook thread, and then I'm like, oh yeah, we were talking about that. So that's a great way to keep them in your planner and in your thoughts too. But every Monday I check in with my new sponsored CEs, and I do check in with other Compassion Entrepreneurs, but I'm definitely hovering around my new babies, right? Just like we would if we were having children. So add to phone, I add all of my sponsored CEs to my phone. I add all of their sponsored CEs to my phone, and a great way to do that is if your CEs start sponsoring, start saving that in the notes. Talk about that later, but just make sure that you do have your Compassion Entrepreneurs in your phone. Scheduling coaching time. I don't exactly like per se schedule, but I let them know, hey, it was great talking to you today. It's Wednesday. I know we went over a couple things. Let's go ahead and talk the next Wednesday, right? So, but a lot of times my coaching actually happens on a Monday because that is kind of my team day. So I have learned to set aside time to work with my team on a particular day. That works for me. It may not work for you. Find what works for you. And so I take about 30 minutes to an hour a week working with my team. Sometimes it's definitely longer, but my new Compassion Entrepreneurs, I'm checking in with them for about 30 minutes each week. I'm just kind of making sure if they need anything, I'm here, whatever they need. So the next thing on your form that I'm talking about right here, it says launch party. I'll write in the little blank. Sometimes I write schedule. This girl, I wrote the date. And so I just kind of check, hey, do you have a launch party coming up? What can I do to help? Anything I can touch base with? And then it says place first order. I check the box, like, have I talked to them about placing their first order? Have they had a customer place their first order? Have you went in and set up a party? Do you know how that kind of works? Hey, I know on your training email from the company when you got that welcome email that it says on there to go to 101, 102, 103. That's a great platform to use to build your parties and to build your orders. So I kind of reiterate that. That would be what I'm calling my new Compassion Entrepreneurs every week, right? Now, I'm not specifically responsible for my Compassion Entrepreneurs that sponsor. I am responsible for the ones that are direct to me to help guide them to guide their girls, right? So, and then it says training email number 1. I kind of just call that the company email, making sure that they got that email. Training email number 2, I actually don't use that. I use training email number 2 if you're using this form. Sometimes you can use this form and write write your own stuff. You can edit it yourself. Training email number 2 just kind of gives me a buzzword in my head. Have I talked to them about like artisans? Have I went over the back office? Have I ever went over Hope Marketing Portal? Like just checking base with them. Have I kind of touched base with them twice, right? Training email number 3, I look at that as touching base with them 3 times. Now, whether that means I've met with them for 3 Mondays in a row, whether I've coached them 3 times, I write the dates in there so that I know. I did a welcome call. I wrote my own. You can see welcome call in there. It says, and I wrote duh, because I was like, duh, of course I welcomed her. And then I actually add a couple things. Some of the things that I add to my list, you can add whatever you want. I now have started adding leadership. So once my girls hit leadership, I add that and I date it. I have one of these for each month. You might want to print one. And as you add girls, so let me go back over here to June since we're not in June. As you add girls, you may want to start it here, right? And you may want to just say, let's say you have 5 direct. So those 5 direct may be here. Down here, you may write leadership. Down there, you may write, I'm at leadership retreat. You may write annual retreat. You just want to remember if they went or something. I don't know. You should remember. You may want to write the 40s, 70, and 100-day goals down here and kind of keep track of that. You may want to write as they become qualified CE. Now, our new system will go over that and it'll be easier to track. But you know what? I love carrying this in the car in case I don't have access to like the back office quickly, and just looking at a couple of my direct sponsored girls and just kind of be like, oh, how are they doing? And kind of just flip through very easily. You can see that in February, I sponsored 5 women into our company. It's right up here. And so then down below, it looks like I Facebook messaged them. I wrote that down. I ended up writing down their March totals. Their February totals and their March totals. That may be something that you want to track the first 100 days. So I hope that's helpful. I would love for you as a direct sponsor to use something like this to continually track. So in a year, you can look back and say, wow, did I just track a lot of stuff on them? It was great to kind of just look back. Oh yeah, they went to that last year. Oh, they achieved that last year. Oh, they gave some blankets in their name or goats or whatever the goal might be with the company. That is why I didn't type stuff. That is why I hand write it each month so that I can kind of tune it into what the company is going to be doing. We're always going to have changes. We always have to grasp onto that. And we always just want to lead the best we can. And so I challenge you to find that right way to lead. I challenge you to basically be responsible for the women that are directly with you. So directly work with the girls that you have sponsored, for sure. Check in with your upline as well and kind of just get her feedback on how you can become a better leader as well. Thank you.